is up? Like, is there no good corners anymore? Or are they not producing good corners anymore? Like, on the defensive side of the ball, what happened?
If you want the boss's view, you gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association. Joe.
All right, welcome to the YMA Nation podcast, episode number 40.
40. You kidding?
40.
40.
We are at episode number 40.
Nice.
I am Joe Wallace, and this is
Rebecca Wallace.
And today is Friday football.
Friday football.
You excited?
I am.
I see you have like a ton of notes over there.
Look, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for this draft in a couple of months. And
okay. If you're on right now, make sure you like, comment, share, and
subscribe.
And click the subscribe.
Really?
Click the subscribe button if you are on right now. We're going to talk some football. We just came off Super Bowl weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. Super Bowl weekend. How about your team?
We were wrong.
Well, how about we were wrong? How about you were wrong?
Hey. You see? No.
What did I say? I said Tampa Bay, right?
No, that's not what you said.
I did not say Tampa Bay. I said Kansas City. I don't know what happened in Kansas City. Can somebody down in the comment section tell me what happened to Kansas City on Sunday?
I got three things.
Three things.
Okay,
let's hear it.
Number one, they did not win the turnover battle. 2 turnovers.
They did not win the turnover battle.
And turnover battle is important because it changes the momentum of the game.
Right.
So,
explain to them. So
you could be having a good, going up the field and clicking, and then you have that turnover, and it just is a momentum killer, just right there.
Yeah, and then the team come off and the
disappointment.
Disappointment. Like, oh, now we got to go back out there because the offense did a turnover, and then they tired. The poor defense is tired. They got to go back on the field, back and forth.
Speaking of the defense, they couldn't stop Brady.
I knew that was going to be, like I said, that Kansas City was going to have to come with that defense.
Yeah.
And
they couldn't.
Well, who can stop Brady? Man, legendary player.
Yeah.
He came out there, threw for 201 yards.
Yeah, he was like, 21 of 29?
21 of 29.
Completions.
Yeah. 3 touchdowns.
So, it showed you they had a good balance of run pass. So he wasn't forced to pass often.
Right.
But he was on point when he was. So he didn't have that many incompletions.
Right.
Opposite for Kansas City. They passed. He was 26 of 49. Was it 26 of 49?
That's not. But you know what? He threw a lot. Remember
Mahomes,
we were saying why is he not?
Of 49?
Why are they not running
the ball?
Why are they not running the ball? And
that's like awful. Like half of your passes you're completing.
Right.
So either the Tampa Bay defense is that good, or you're that off. And it's just crazy. It was crazy. They couldn't find the end zone. They would have to settle for field goals. That's another thing. You have to, when you get down the field, you have to score touchdowns. You can't rely on field goals to get you through the game.
In the Super Bowl, too.
In the Super Bowl.
Like the Super Bowl.
3
your
field
most
goals.
important
You didn't
game.
even get into the end zone.
Your most important game.
That was my number 3, by the way.
That's your number 3.
They couldn't find the end zone.
I did not expect that. I did not expect
if
Kansas
they would have
City to
scored
perform like
those
that.
3 times, if they would have gotten to the end zone, that would have at least been
21 points. Also, it would have gave them like a drive too.
Right.
Like, oh man,
right. The momentum.
Right. Yeah.
But once you get so far behind, again, that's momentum killer.
Yeah. The cameras, they be showing the players over on the sideline, and they got their head down.
I'm gonna tell you though. So I think what happened partially is Kansas City allowed emotion on defense to take over instead of keeping their head in the game. Maybe there were some calls that were questionable.
I had that wrote down to talk about the flags. Yeah, they were flag crazy in the first half.
I mean, maybe some of the calls were questionable.
Questionable.
We talk about flags all the time, like especially in the college games and things like that. And we know that the NFL is a different breed. They're going to protect the quarterbacks. I mean, that's what they do in the NFL is top priority, protect the quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. But there were some questionable flags. And then I think that Kansas City allowed emotion to take over on defense instead of keeping their head in the game. And whenever you let emotion take over, it's not good. It's not good productively.
Unless you know how to tune that emotion
into productivity.
Right.
But they were just
it was anger. But and I could see why, because like some of those flags are like pass interference. I'm like, what? He like grab like bump
they
the
going
dude
back
arm.
and forth.
Yeah, they like pushing each other arm and pass interference.
Yeah. So
but you got to keep your head in the game, though.
You do. So I think that's in any game, but this was the Super Bowl. I think that they could have let them play a little more. Like, you ain't got to throw a flag on everything. I get if it's a late hit on the quarterback or, something intentional trying to hurt somebody or really you just holding or something like that. But if they're just playing ball, let them play ball.
Right.
Let the game play out. But I think they knew, that's a tactic to get under a team's skin.
They threw
flag them to death.
Yeah.
Flag them to death and see what happens.
They threw 3 flags on one drive. Mm-hmm. So if I'm on that side of the ball, I'm like, come on.
Just walking them down the field.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is the night of the game, people were posting that like, well, just walk them into the end zone, because, you're going to throw a flag on every play, then you might as well just give them the touchdown, walk them into the end zone. But you have to learn how to change momentum and shift it. But when you have turnovers and everything starts stacking against you, then it's hard to come back from.
Can you say that again? Say that again.
What? When everything's stacking against you, it's hard to come back from.
And you have to be able to change momentum.
Yeah, you have to be able to change your momentum.
So if you guys are following our podcast, make sure you watch this upcoming Monday. You heard what she said. Be able to change momentum.
Wealth building Monday.
Wealth building Monday.
I don't even know what Wealth Building Monday is about. See,
but
we're in tune.
You have to be able to. You have to be able to, like, if you're trying to buy a home, if you're trying to work on your credit, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, business owner, no matter if you work from 9 to 5, like when things are stacked up against you, you have to be able to change momentum and keep your drive and tunnel vision.
It's crazy. I had this that we were going to talk about when we got to the draft section. Mm-hmm. It was about Deshaun Watson because we've been talking about how he could have an impact on the draft.
Right.
And, he had put in his papers to get traded.
To go to Miami.
Potentially, but to go somewhere.
Come on home.
Well, Houston is not engaging in any trade talks.
Oh, wow.
Meaning they're not even acknowledging the trade.
So how does that work?
That means that he could potentially have to sit out this season.
Ooh.
And not get paid for it.
I was like, oh, let me get that back.
I think that it's just him taking a stand against what he was told, and something he was promised. And you sign a contract under an understanding that these things are going to happen.
Right.
Those things don't happen, but now you want him to honor his contract. When you didn't do what you said you were going to do.
Well, that's going to be. We'll see in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah.
How that turns out.
But Houston Texans president Roots resigns after 20 years.
Really?
Yep.
I need to be right behind him. Some retirement going on.
So, I mean, we'll see, but it's all about the momentum, the change of momentum. He went there with an understanding of longevity. He signed a contract with the intent of being there for a long period of time under the conditions that things were going to happen that he was going to get to be a part of.
Right.
And now, when things don't work out the way you think they are, now you have to change your momentum in what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm pulling up some notes about this retirement.
Oh, he resigned. I think that they said that he was looking into doing some teaching and other things at the University of Houston, maybe. I think so. Don't quote me on that, but I think so in the article I was reading.
So on NBC Sports, they say that Cal McNair reached out to Deshaun Watson, and haven't heard back from him. But that was on the 9th of January, so I'm sure there was some conversations since then. Mm-hmm. What else do we have?
Oh, well, so anything else on the Super Bowl front?
Oh, yes. The halftime show.
The halftime show.
Yeah.
You can't do the Super Bowl without the halftime show.
Right, you can't have a
and
Super
the
Bowl
commercials.
without the halftime. Oh, they have some good commercials. Like everybody loves the there's some people that just watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials.
I don't think the commercials are as good as they used to be.
They was pretty good this Super Bowl.
You think so?
But yeah, back in the days, like in the 90s and the early 2000s, they had
the commercials were like,
because it was like blunt, so now you got to be careful the type of things that you put on TV.
Yeah, it made it more entertaining though.
Yeah, like they take a little child and just throw them like out off the roof. Like,
no,
nah, they can't do that no more.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
ban that commercial. But Wayne World had a commercial with Cardi B for Uber Eats. Mm-hmm. That was a good one. With Jason Alexander, the one with Tide, and they had his shirt. And so the shirt made like a face expression. So like if the dude the little kid that was wearing it,
I was just cooking for half of the Super Bowl. So
he was dogging out the shirt. He was dogging the shirt out, and then like the face would be like sad, and then he finally got washed and he was happy again.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, the dude actually pulled up and like, hey, you can't be wearing my face on the shirt.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. But outside of that, the halftime show, what's your thoughts on it? Because I'm going to go on it. So
go ahead.
The Weeknd.
Yeah.
The Weeknd. I think that was a spectacular show.
Do you?
I do. I like all the activity. Well, as an artist, he's a good artist to me. So I enjoy the songs he have, like The Hills. So I like that song. So seeing him actually do a performance on it was good. And then he did Starboy. So that was good. He did a lot of like all his hits. And then when they was actually down on the field and he had all of the dancers out there with their red coats on and a choreography happening, and they had lights in their hands. To me, it was a good show, a good halftime. And I read this too on Deadline.com. He put $7 million of his own money to make sure that he exceeded the expectations of the viewers. $7 million to say,
you were like one of you're in a group.
Yeah, I'm in that
of a small group that I think enjoyed it.
Really, I don't think so.
I do, because
let's hear your feedback. I'm gonna pull up what the response was on halftime.
My Facebook was blowing up of people that was like, "No, this is not it. this is not what halftime show should be.
I don't know.
Please find someone else.
Maybe they're just not a fan of him.
No, this is like a lot of people.
Weekend Super Bowl. Let's see the reviews. That's what we're gonna look at. What are the reviews? What is everyone saying?
Yes.
So New York Times, here's their review. New York Times says for almost all decade, the weekend has been finding more, blah, blah, blah. On the stage of Super Bowl halftime show, there isn't much one can do to hide. Okay, I'm just trying to scroll down to see what their response is. The weekend rejiggered the terms of the performance. See, he got a great review from the New York Times. Behind him was a band and choir interspersed among a neon cityscape, and often he was surrounded by dancers. But the weekend stood
It's okay.
alone. So
you thought it was good.
The New
I didn't
York
think it was
Times-
that great.
The New York
So-
Times. We're going to give him. I'm going to give him
Well,
a round of
go
applause.
ahead. I was reading my timeline as it was transpiring, so there was a majority of my timeline that.
Okay, so the Associated Press obviously did not like his performance because they said it was a bore. So I think it's like, either you enjoyed it or you
Or
did
you
not
didn't.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll still be a fan. You can still text me whenever you get,
Yeah.
Yeah. We can.
What he says.
I know you ready to talk about some college football.
Yes, because we have some college football starting back up in February
All right.
because the Southern Conference moved a majority of their games to the spring. So they'll be restarting on February the 20th. So we get some games to review we get some games to watch, possibly. I don't know where they're going to be showing that on, if they're going to be on televised or what channel station they're going to be televised on yet.
Right.
But we will at least have some football.
And you can always watch the podcast and find out because, as soon as
watch
we
the
hear it, you hear it.
Yep. So we'll get into those games next week.
Okay.
And draft.
Draft, yes.
It is a little bit away, but I would like to delve in and see what your thoughts on what these teams need and who may go where, and
Well,
who's going to Miami.
I've been doing my homework on Miami, right? So, look, the number one safety in the nation, James Williams, the number one safety in the nation.
Are you talking about signing with UM, or are you talking about the draft?
No, yeah, we're talking about signing.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. We're talking about Miami Hurricanes right now.
He just skipped over what I was talking about.
Yeah, we're going to
So
skip over. We're going to talk about the
with
Hurricanes.
High school kids coming to UM. We'll go there next.
That's what they want to hear.
Okay, go ahead.
80% of the people on right now are Hurricane fans.
Okay.
You need to build your fan base up.
I'll work on that. Please, Clemson fans, help me out.
I love Clemson too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a diehard Miami Hurricane fan. But yeah, if we're able to get James Williams, the number one safety in the nation, on the Hurricanes.
Who is going to sign a day.
No, but look, we talked about this last year when we first started the podcast on what Miami Hurricanes needed, and it was everything was the defense. They need this on defense.
Yeah.
So if they can seal those gaps on the defensive end, then I feel that they will have a really strong 2021.
Agreed. They do need to up the defensive core, and get their quarterback ready. You know, with his injury, get him ready to go there.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. And if he come back 100%, then and they have a strong defensive side. Look at this. So Leonard Taylor is the number 3 tackle in the nation. So Leonard Taylor, defensive tackle, number 1 DT and number 3 in the country, is a possible future starter for the Canes defense. That's what I'm talking about. So they're doing a great job in recruiting because they know obviously where the gaps are on the team. And they say, okay, let's fill these gaps and improve in these areas. Okay, so let's go back to you because we talked about the Hurricanes enough, and I don't want to steal the show.
Nope, go ahead.
No, I'm
go
done.
Ahead.
I'm
Are
done.
you sure?
I'm done.
He's not done, y'all.
I'm done.
No, there's a player that Clemson and Alabama is battling for right now.
Who was that?
A 4-star. I'm trying to look up his information because I saw it earlier, but I didn't write it down because I didn't know we were going to recruiting. So see, he caught me off guard. Something told me to write it down too.
You know, I was gonna bring up my Hurricanes.
It's okay. I'll circle back to that.
Yeah, let's bring that back.
Yeah. So anyhow, as of right now, because this is could change depending on, you know, trades going on and things like that.
Right.
So right now, here's your picks, your top picks, like the draft picks 1 through 10.
Okay.
So Jacksonville has the first pick.
Okay.
So we've talked about Jacksonville and, you know, what their needs are is quarterback, offensive tackle, and a cornerback. We talked about the quarterback, and, you know, they just got Urban Meyer.
Which is going to be a huge help for the team.
Right, and obtaining who they want. I don't know. I think it's going to be between Lawrence and Fields, but I really think Urban Meyer is going to get Fields.
You think so?
I think so.
I think they need Trevor.
You think they need Trevor?
Trevor Lawrence will be a great asset.
Yeah.
So
we'll see, but
the anticipation.
The anticipation. Because you have Trevor Lawrence and Fields, and you have Wilson from BYU. That's your 3 quarterbacks in the top 10 prospects right now to be drafted. So I think it's going to either go Lawrence or Fields. Maybe he'll take Lawrence, depending on the type of scheme that Urban Meyer is looking to run there, as to who's going to fit into his scheme better. But we'll see. And then you have the Jets have the second pick. They need a quarterback, edge rusher, and a cornerback. I was going through this list, y'all, and I just got a question.
What's the question?
Because, well, before we get through the rest of this.
Uh-oh.
Half these teams that have the top 10 picks need corners.
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, "It's just a credit score, relax."
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
What is up? Like, is there no good corners anymore? Or are they not producing good corners anymore? Like, on the defensive side of the ball, what happened? Because half these teams need edge rushers, cornerbacks, linebackers, DBs. Like, are they just not producing? I mean, there's good defensive players in college. Are they getting into the NFL and just like not continuing to be trained? And I don't get it.
Maybe, and this is just assumption without having the notes, but maybe you have a lot of fresh talent out there, and they still need to get acclimated to like the team. I don't know. I mean, that's my perception of it. That's my perception of it.
I think like we talk about like the flags and stuff like that, and I think it's just hard to be a defensive player because it used to not be that way. Like now, everybody on the offense is protect the quarterback, the running back. They got to protect anybody that has the ball in their hands. It's kind of more difficult for the defenders, and they have to be trained a certain way so that they can actually perform on the field.
What's interesting about that is there's a term that Nick Saban says, I like my Alabama too, because it's just a good team. And he say a good offense will always be a good defense. So a good offense will always be the good defense. So if you have a good cornerback, a good safety, you got a good line. But if you have a strong offense, then that defense is going to struggle the whole game until they just like tired and worn out.
Oh, your offensive line wins the game.
Yeah.
Your offensive line wins and loses your games.
That is true. Because if you protect the QB,
the quarterback,
and he has time to focus and
open the gaps for your running back, then, really, the offensive line is the most underrated part of the team because they win the games. Yeah. Look at Brady. Like, Brady's great, but he still needs that offensive line to help protect him where he's not getting sacked and has time to do what he does. So, yeah, everybody needs corners. It's okay. My son has 4 years.
She's trying to promote right now.
4 years, and he'll be there. Y'all can get him. Lord have mercy. No corners. There's no corners anywhere.
No corners.
You know why, too?
Why?
Everybody wants to be a wide receiver because if you play corner, or wide receiver or vice versa, if you have the option to do both and the speed to do both and the size to do either or, they're going to go to a wide receiver every time because why? You're making the plays. You
get more attention.
Right,
as a wide receiver.
Why would you want to go to corner? Like,
and get burnt.
Darian Kendrick, he came to Clemson as a wide receiver, and they moved him to corner when he got there because they were in need of that position.
Right.
So he got kind of, you want playing time. We have all these receivers that you're behind. You're behind some pretty good receivers.
Right.
So if you want playing time, you can switch over to corner and
possibly be a starter.
I
would move. I move my butt right over the corner.
Right over the corner. But I think it's because you have so many players. I want to be a wide receiver. They don't want to be a corner.
Right.
You have to have that passion to play the defensive side of the ball. You got to like to hit and, lay the hits on the opposing team.
Man.
So oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Ran out of time.
Yeah, ran out of time.
I got through like two. I got through two.
You would just not stop talking. I don't know what to say. It was the halftime show.
It was the halftime show. Thank him. The halftime show.
All right. Well,
hey, did y'all learn things? Let us know what you thought about the halftime show.
Yeah, the halftime show, the Hurricanes,
Clemson,
the draft.
Hey, Hey, who's going to Jacksonville? Who's going to the Jets?
Who's going to Jacksonville and who's going to the Jets, guys?
What quarterback?
Let us know down in the comment section. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. Click the subscribe button right now. And if you're on right now, make sure you hashtag YMA Nation down in the comment section. See, the people that didn't see the whole show, they didn't hashtag it.
They didn't hashtag
And everybody that hashtag YMA Nation in the comment section will go into our drawing at the end of the month.
A drawing?
Cash drawing. Yes. So we will see.
Hashtag YMA.
Hashtag YMA Nation, guys. We will see you on Monday for Wealth Building Monday. It's going to be good. See you then.
What is up? Like, is there no good corners anymore? Or are they not producing good corners anymore? Like, on the defensive side of the ball, what happened?